Hello and welcome to this video where I want to share with you a technique that can be a solution to a problem that I've seen out there. What is this problem? When teachers are carrying out a demonstration, nowadays they are faced with one major challenge. The number of students we have in a classroom is overwhelming. Let's assume, and this one is a fact, the number of students in a classroom is 50 or 60 or even 70, and this teacher wants to carry out a demonstration. They are faced with a challenge, and this challenge is this: not all the students are able to see what the teacher is demonstrating. That is the first problem. Even if they were to climb on benches, because that is what I've seen, the students, they crowd around the teacher, and because not all of them can fit in that small space or be able to see that tiny demonstration that the teacher is carrying out, they climb onto benches and they come very, very close to the teacher. So we are faced with a second problem, which is the one of overcrowding. They make the region to be too stuffy, and we know that this situation is quite unhealthy nowadays. So what does an enthusiastic teacher do? What are some of the solutions does this teacher have? Because teachers cannot fail to carry out demonstrations. They still want to do it, but they want to do it from a safer position. What can they be able to do? With me, I want to show you, for example, if I wanted to demonstrate this gadget here to my students in a physics class, you can see that in real time, if I expect them to see what I'm holding in my hand like this, it will not be visible until they come very close. So this is what I can be able to do. And of course, other gadgets is a gadget like this one. This one is a transducer. It is a light emitting diode. And I want the students to be able to see how I do the connections. How would I achieve this? I would put this gadget under a camera. For instance, I want a situation whereby when I'm demonstrating, I'm manipulating the various aspects of the demonstration. So it's not enough to take a picture and show them the picture. What I need to do, for example, assume that I want them to be able to see the scale of the micrometer screw gauge. So I would put the micrometer screw gauge scale under my camera and bring the camera very close. And then I'm going to focus my camera onto the scale. Let me do that so that I get a sharp image of what I want them to see. So I want them to see that particular scale. So I will put whatever small gadget I have, or the small specimen, or bring the camera very close to my dissection. If it's, for example, it's in biology, and I want them to, I'm demonstrating the dissection, and I want them to see various tiny areas of what we find when we carry out dissection. Or I'm showing them a very small specimen. It may be a leaf, it may be an insect, and I'm manipulating that. And I want them to see this. One of the techniques you can do is to subdivide that class of 50 students into groups of 5 students, and then you move to every student demonstrating that phenomenon. The disadvantage is that it can take a very long time, and you get bored as a teacher repeating the same situations for 10 groups 10 times. The last group may not benefit from you much. So I want to show you a technique that you can use to demonstrate this once and for all, and the students are able to see an enlarged part of your demonstration in the lab. So what do I need? I need a camera. This one is a webcam. It is an external webcam. it's connected to my desktop, and then I would connect the projector to my desktop. And then I have the projector face one of the walls in the lab. Probably what you will use in the lab is a laptop. The process is the same. Connect your webcam via USB to your laptop, and then connect the projector to the laptop so that you can be able to show them how your desktop looks like. And at this point, you're looking at my desktop. You're looking at my desktop. If I move my demonstration closer to the camera, you can see that it becomes blurred. That is not a problem because I'll simply go to my focus here. Most webcams allow you to do the focusing, and you can see now that what I want the students to see is very, very sharp. I've made it very, very sharp over there just by using the controls on my webcam. And that is what I get. So if you're using a good webcam with such controls, it should be able to give you these details. So you bring your specimen, you bring your very small transducer very close to the scale, and you can be able to see it makes it much, much bigger, and the smallest of the details can be seen. That is the aim. Once I have that, you will be sure that these students will not need to come closer to you. They will not come to the front bench. You will not have to move where they are. They will be seated in their various seats or in their various groups, and then they will be watching whatever you're doing on a large screen. And then you can now, after the demonstration, probably you are carrying out this demonstration so that you can have the student repeat that whatever you've done with their sets of equipment. So you can demonstrate for them at a safer distance, and you are still in the lab. So what is it that you need? You need a camera, a webcam. You need a laptop, you need a projector, and you need to have your setup well lit. Right now, my setup is well lit because I'm doing this in my studio, where I have this setup very, very well lit. Probably it may not be possible to get a situation like this in the lab, but I can give you a suggestion. There are two things that you can be able to do. You can make a softbox using locally available materials, like the soft boxes I'm using in this studio. I've made them from locally available materials. But you may not have these materials, you may not have the tools I'm using, or even the skill to make one like this. That should not prevent you from carrying out this or from using soft boxes. Go out there and buy a soft box. Buy any kind of light that is going to illuminate your setup, so long as you make sure that the light does not blind the camera. And you can see that in this situation, actually there is no chance of the light from my softbox blinding the camera, because my lights are at the sides and at the top, and my camera is facing downwards where I'm demonstrating. If I wanted them to read, like for example, the scale of a measuring cylinder, I would set this camera in such a way that it is looking at my demonstration from the side. And I can be able to do that one too. I can be able to use more than one camera looking at my tiny demonstration here, so that I can switch from one camera to the next and for best effects. This one is something that you can be able to do in a lab, because a projector and a computer or a laptop, they are basic necessities for a teacher nowadays. If you're in a school whereby these equipment are not available, then do everything necessary to ensure that you have at least one in your department, so that anytime you want to carry out a demonstration or show students something which is outside the lab, or use a skill like this, you will not be handicapped. So ensure that you have a projector, you have a laptop, and you have other peripheral devices that come with these gadgets. And one of the most important is an external webcam. The built-in webcam that comes with most laptops will not work like this, because you can't manipulate it to be able to look at your demonstration in this way. You cannot be able to do that. You need an external webcam. And then I will show you how you can mount this webcam such that it is looking at your demonstration from the side or from above. Like you can see, this one makes it so easy for me. I can even be able to set, for example, if I move it away like that, you can see it becomes blurred. All I need to do is focus again. I'm using manual focusing, and I'm able to do that, and it focuses on my screen or on my demonstration. How am I able to see or to ensure that the students are seeing what I want them to see? My eyes will be kept, or I'll be focused on my laptop. And so long as I can ensure that I can see the laptop screen very, very well, that is exactly what the students will be able to see on the screen. So, using that simple setup, you are able to ensure two things. One, safety for yourself and your students, because you have avoided that overcrowding. Number two, you are able to make sure that every student sees what you want them to see. And even number three, you can be able to, for example, I can be able to set this scale to a different value and ask the students to give me the reading straight from my setup here, or ask the students to set their own. Besides, I can even ask the student to come now to this camera and carry out the demonstration in a situation where you want to involve the student in the demonstration. The student will be able to come to your setup, carry out the various manipulations under your instructions as the others take down the observations, and they will just be looking at the screen on what the student is doing. You're able to achieve a lot using this. You can even take this technique outside the classroom and into a conference room. Let's assume you are involved in showing your colleagues how something is done in a conference, in a workshop. And maybe you have very many of you attending the workshop, and you want them to see exactly what you are demonstrating to them. Maybe it may be a skill. You may be teaching them something. How do you ensure that all of them see what you want them to see? You can use this skill. Just arm yourself with a webcam, a laptop, and a projector. And so long as you make your setup to be neat, you will not have a problem. You will be able to achieve a lot using that simple skill. So that is what I wanted to share with you today, because it is a problem that I have seen teachers experiencing out there. They are faced with very many students, and they still want to carry out a demonstration. They are so passionate about their subject, but somehow the situation that they are faced with does not allow them to exercise proper safety when it comes to distancing, and it doesn't allow all their students to see what they want them to see. So I hope this one is going to add some value to you, the enthusiastic teacher who still wants to carry out a demonstration and is keen to teach the correct concepts to the student. So until next time, when I come up with a different way on how to use ICT to teach your favorite subject, it is bye-bye for now.